Hello, it's Ashley Moses. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making these simple bead wears. They are very simple and comfortable to wear. You're going to need 6mm beads. I'm using two colors, which is the white and then pink. But you can use one color, it's totally up to you. And then you're going to need your thread. This is 0.3, I'm using 0.3. And then you need some needles. And then you will need that, whatever that is. I don't know what it's called. And then you're going to need that. And then you will need a plier. And then you're going to need 8mm beads, just 6 of them. And then you need scissors, your slippers. You see I cut off the top because the style we're doing, you don't need the top part of it. So I just cut that part up. And then you're going to need glue and then a blade. So you pick a needle you're comfortable with and then thread it up. You cut the thread not too long, just cut it in a way you'll be comfortable, because if it's too long it gets tangled up, and if it's too short it means you have to be joining it. So you start with 4 beads, fix 4 beads, and then you tie. Usually I make about 2 knots, and then you have to pull it very hard to make sure that it's really tight. And then I pass my needle through a couple of beads to hide the knot. So I pass it through about 3 beads to hide the knot in between beads, and then I pick a blade and then I cut off the excess thread. And then after that you're just going to continue with 3 beads instead of 4. So you put the needle from the opposite side of where the thread is, pass it through the sideways, and then send it to the bead up, and then you just continue the same process. Usually this process, it's what we use in a lot of things we do in bead making, like bags, tissue box, a lot of things. We use this particular style in making them. So you put 3 beads, put it through the opposite side of where the thread is, send it through the sideways bead, and then bring it up. Same thing. And then opposite, and then you send it up. That's practically it, guys. You're just going to be repeating the same procedure until you get to the length that you want it to be at. Usually to get the length you have to measure it, and then if it's for a client you're making the sandals for, you have to know the client's size. So this one I'm making is for a size 39, so It's really very easy to do, guys. It's just time consuming, but then some of us make a living out of this, so I guess it's worth it. Please remember to like my video and then subscribe to my channel so that anytime I post a tutorial video, you'll be alerted. I'll be making a lot of these videos within the coming days. You can also leave a comment and tell me what kind of tutorial you want, and then I'll do it for you. Everything about beading, wig making, everything. I do practically all of them. So let me know what you want and I'll make it for you. Also, I'm sorry about my camera position. I'm still trying to get a hang of this thing, so pardon me. So this is it. I told you this was for a size 39. Yes, a size 39. So you need to know the size of the sandals you're making before you can make this. You can start the beading. So I'm making this for a size 39. So I made 19 of them, but later on I found out that the 19 was too much, so I got one off, so I ended up using 18 of them. So when you get to the length at which you want, you send the needle down to the sideways bead, and then you start with the other color. And if you're using the same color, that's still fine. You start with 3 beads and then put the needle to the opposite side of the thread and then pull. And then put it all the way up. I don't know, I tend to mute tutorial videos when I'm watching and just watch, but then since my camera placement is not that good, I guess it's okay, right? So unlike how we started, where you put it at the opposite side of this one, you put 2 beads, put it to a bead before where the thread is, before you come and put it to where the thread is, and then pass it all the way up, and then you continue that way, 2 beads, and then you pass it through the 2 beads the thread had already been through, and then bring it up. So you put 2 beads, so you're practically just going to be continuing with 2 beads like that. So you put 2 beads, and then you put the needle to a bead before where the thread it's opposite to, and then you pass the needle through it, and then to the sideways bead all the way up, and then the next bead, then you put so. Once again, guys, I'm sorry for my camera placement. I still really don't know how to place the camera overhead to get a perfect shot, so pardon me. I know the video is not the best of videos, but I promise it's very educational. So when you get to the end, you have to pass the thread and needle through a couple of beads and then make a knot, and then hide your knot in between beads and then cut off the thread. I had to join my thread, and then now you start with 3 again, just like we did with the pink one. You start with 3. See, this is what happens when you cut the thread too long, it knots up. So just like the pink one we did with the pink one, you start with 3 and then you continue with 2 beads. Oh, I almost forgot to let you know that the video is in 2 parts. The part 1, which is for the beading, and we do all the beading we need to do, and then the part 2, which is for the stitching, where we do the stitching of the beads to the slippers. Please let me know what you think about the video in the comment section. And please, 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 please subscribe and give me a like. I'll make better videos as time goes on, I promise. I'm sure as time goes on, I'll get a hang of it, and then I'll make better ones. If you have any suggestions, you can let me know in the comment section. So what will you guys want our next video to be? A bag, a tissue box, a watch, or maybe a wig? maybe something different. How about beading 101? So that I can tell you everything you need to know about beading. Beads, their sizes, thread and the sizes, the types of needles, types of beads. Let me know if you guys will want to see a video like that. I definitely will do it. Nobody told me any of those things, so I had to do a lot of research. So you guys should let me know if you want to see a beading 101 video. You guys should remember that you just need the size of the bead, which is 6mm beads. It doesn't matter the type really. It could be pearls, bridal pearls, original pearls. It doesn't matter. You just need the size. And the color is totally up to you. But mostly we determine the color of the beads by the color of the slippers or what your client wants. So same procedure, same process. 3 first and then 2. You continue with 2. This is the last line we're making. In all, that should be 4 lines. That is 3 lines of white and then 1 line of pink. You can count the lines at the end of the beading or at the beginning of it. Just how do they call that? That's hard to tell. I'm still trying to think whether that is width or height. I can't tell. But then I don't know if you guys get it. Yeah, just where I'm beading towards, that's the end. So at the end of it, you can count the beads there to know the number of lines you've attained. You can also make it 5, especially if you're making it for a thick person. You have to make it 5. So as usual, pass the needle through a couple of beads and then cut off. So that is done. That is for the top part close to the toes. Yes, that one. That is for it. So we're done with that one. Now I'm going to start with the how do they call it? Wait, I'll learn the name and then tell you later. So now we're going to start with the other part. Towards the ankle, and then so as usual, you start with 4. Make a knot, pull it hard, make another knot. Just make sure it's very tight, the beads are not loose. And then you have to pass the needle through a couple of beads as usual to hide the knot in between beads. So pass it through. And cut off the excess thread. So it's the same process, guys, just like we did the first one. We're just going to same process. It's just that this one is going to be a bit longer than the first one we did. The first one we did 19, which I told you that I ended up using 18, but this one we're doing 25. Yes, the length is 25, and then the width, instead of 4 like the first one, this one the width is going to be 3. So that means we're going to go sideways like that 2 more times. So we start with 3, and then you continue with 2 like we did the first one. Yeah, sorry. So 2, and then you continue all the way up. So the second row just ended, so we'll continue with the last row, which is the third row. So like the first one we did, you start with 3. Since it's a continuation, start with 3, and then you continue with 2 beads. I hope the video is really helpful, guys. If not, Let me know what you think. I'm sure I can improve on it. Any suggestions, any ideas are totally welcome. Once again, thank you for taking time to watch my video. And the third row just ended too. I think this is the tricky part of it. Now you need to count back from where you ended. So the third and second beads are where you're going to be using. So I started with the second bead, so you put 3. Now instead of going sideways, this one you're going to be going down, or shall I say up. I don't know how your camera is facing, but you're going to be facing down. So 3, like we began, you're just going to be putting 3, 3, 3, 3. You need 9 of those, so you're going to be putting 3 beads, 3 beads, 3 beads until you get to the 9th one of those 3 beads. I don't know if that makes sense. If what I'm saying doesn't make sense, I'm sure the video will. So this is the ninth one we've just got into. So instead of sending the bead all the way up, you leave it at the sideways and then start with 3 again, and then go horizontally, or is it vertical? I don't know, but then we're coming back up. So you start with 3 and then you start putting 2 beads again, coming all the way back up. So I'm making this and it's raining, and then the frogs and everything is interrupting my video. Does anybody know how I can, I don't know, mute out the background noise? Please let me know. My place is really noisy. Now, this is another tricky part. You guys can see that when you get to this point, there is no more space for 2 beads. So instead of 2, you'll be using 1 just to join it up, and then you have a complete what? I don't know the name for that, but yeah, just 1 bead and then it makes it complete. And then you pass the needle through a couple of beads far away from where it ended, and then make a knot, and then pass it through a couple of beads to hide the knot, and then you can cut off the thread. Good. And then always start counting from the end. So I'm counting inward. I'm starting the next one from the 11th bead, from counting outside. We'll be using the 11th and 12th bead. So we start with the 11th bead, and then you do the same thing we just did. 11. So that's the 11th bead. So you start joining 3 from the 11th bead. So you join 3, 3, 3 from the 11th bead until you get to 9, and then you come all the way up and connect it to the 12th bead. I'm sure it doesn't make sense, but the video should help. So now that we've gotten to the 9th bead, we'll add 3, and then we'll go and continue with 2, 2. Remember, you're using the 11th and 12th bead, so you're not going to pass the needle through to the right side. You're going to continue from the left, which is inside. So this is practically it, guys. This is all the beading that we need to do. Check out the next part where we do the stitching. This is all the beading you need to do. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.